There was a time when games weren't built just for algorithms, but to instead leave an impact on you. You didn't just rush to the end, you lived in the journey instead, soaking up the cutscenes like they were cinema instead of skipping them. You weren't grinding XP or buying in-game currency. You were immersed, lost in the world for hours on end. Back when studios weren't hungry for money, but starving for greatness instead. They gave us stories, worlds, and moments that still echo in our heads years later. But now with GTA 6 getting closer to release, we're not just hoping for another game, but instead hoping for something that takes us back to when games felt more like games. The late 90s to the early 2000s, those were the golden era of gaming. Not because of nostalgia, but because every studio was aiming for greatness, competing not over who could make the most money, but who could make the best game. They weren't chasing profits, they were chasing legacy. ID Software dropped Doom. Valve released Half-Life. And each one didn't just innovate, it just kept increasing the standards for games. The foundation was set, and in the 2000s, everything exploded. Even studios like Ubisoft were on fire, releasing literal masterpieces like Assassin's Creed, Brotherhood, Revelations, and even Watch Dogs. All single-player masterpieces packed with creativity, soul, and fans begging for a sequel. It was the kind people couldn't stop talking about and couldn't wait to play again. Back then, studios weren't afraid to experiment. That's how we got games like Bully, Mirror's Edge, and Prototype. Bold, weird ideas that didn't always please everyone, but left an impact. And the best part? There was no content locked behind a paywall. After you buy that disc, you got the full experience. There was no day one patches, no 80 gigabyte updates, and no unnecessary DLCs. When you finish a game, you walk away satisfied and not burnt out. Every studio was giving it their all, trying to impress you. But in the middle of all that, there was one studio that didn't just want to impress you. They wanted their games to stay with you long after the credits rolled. They changed the way people looked at games itself and redefined how they were made with their powerful storytelling techniques and their revolutionary technology. No one else was doing it like Rockstar Games. The moment their logo hit the screen, you knew you were about to experience something different. Unlike the Rockstar we know today, they used to be unstoppable back in their prime, sometimes even releasing multiple hits in a single year. Ever since 1999, they didn't go a single year without releasing a game. There was not a moment where the fans felt like they were hungry, because Rockstar just kept dropping hit after hit, year after year. Even after GTA 3 broke every sales record known to man, Rockstar doubled down on creativity instead of safety. Everything you see on screen right now was once a franchise with a cult-like fan base and fans willing to do anything possible for an update from Rockstar Games. These weren't just games, they were the golden era for Rockstar Games. And to the fans who grew up with them, every new release felt like unlocking a piece of their childhood all over again. But then, something changed. The gaps between releases got longer. The silence got louder than ever. Because after Grand Theft Auto V became one of the best-selling games of all time, Rockstar quietly went into the shadows and became more isolated than ever. While it partly is due to the scale of their releases, it's hard to deny the corporate takeover of Rockstar. Because after Rockstar was acquired by Take-Two Interactive, things started to change around the company. Because when GTA Online released, that's when the money started talking. This was a literal goldmine for Rockstar. Millions of players, billions in revenue, and a never-ending stream of microtransactions. They built more and more ways to sell what already existed rather than giving us any new content at all. Just the base game alone has been re-released 5 times already in the span of a decade. A company once known for pushing creative boundaries was now focusing on retention and monetization instead of doing what made us fall in love with them in the first place. And this became more obvious than ever with Red Dead Redemption 2's online counterpart. Despite RDR2 having one of the most breathtaking and immersive open worlds ever made, RDR Online came as a major disappointment to the players. As soon as the corporate executives realized this was not nearly as profitable as GTA Online, they decided to abandon not just the online mode, but they abandoned the game as a whole. While GTA 5 went through 3 different remasters, RDR2 still hasn't received the next-gen update, and the PS5 players are still stuck at 30 FPS. The focus shifted from innovative gameplay and passionate storytelling to microtransactions and profit. And if you're into stories like this, consider subscribing. Because the next problem isn't with Rockstar, it's with us. Because over the years, our attention has started to slip, and it's not by accident. The rise of short-form content has made our attention spans go from 12 seconds in the early 2000s to less than 8 seconds in 2025. And it shows. Today, players can't even play a game without jumping every 2 seconds or speed running through missions. This is a major concern, as these are the same crowd that trashed RDR2 for being too slow or being too empty. Their attention spans didn't allow them to understand the beauty of this game or its amazing open world. But this was because instead of speeding things up, Rockstar hit the brakes. One of the biggest risks they took with RDR2 was the prologue. A cold, slow, cinematic introduction that lasted nearly 2 hours, set entirely in the snow, with limited freedom, no open world, and barely any action. It did play a vital role in setting up the story, but for many players, it was a test of patience. I love this game, but doing the prologue every replay sucks. And the prologue was way too long. We didn't need the first chapter. These weren't just minority opinions, it became a loud, recurring criticism across the community. As we are in an era where players are trained to expect instant dopamine, a 2-hour slow burn was risky. And while it paid off for those who stuck around, many never made it past those early chapters. They quit before the game even showed its true brilliance. It was a bold move, one Rockstar could afford at the time, and one they definitely cannot afford at this time. Because in 2018, Rockstar was still riding the unstoppable momentum of GTA 5. They had time, trust, and a loyal audience willing to wait. But in 2026, they are releasing into a completely different ecosystem, a faster and a less forgiving one. It's the last game people will play as teenagers, or the first they'll play as adults. It will define a new era, whether Rockstar wants it to or not. Because for millions of players, GTA 6 is the kind of game you tell stories about years later. Not because of the missions or mechanics, but because of where you were in life when it came out. That's the weight Rockstar is carrying. This is the most anticipated game of all time. The final echo of gaming's golden age, or the first product of something entirely new. And maybe that's why they've gone completely silent. Because they know that when the world is watching, even silence becomes a statement. They've never been afraid to speak or showcase their work, but they always let the game do the talking rather than setting unrealistic expectations for it themselves. And even now, it's not Rockstar setting impossible expectations, it's us. And in a world addicted to instant opinions, Rockstar is still betting on something rare, that greatness can't be rushed, that stories are still worth telling, and that somewhere out there, even in 2026, people still care. GTA 6 might not be perfect. It might not please everyone. It might not even be good. But if it's even close to what we believe it could be, then maybe, just maybe, it won't just start a new generation. It'll remind us why we started playing in the first place.